Today we are playing a little game called Overrated or Underrated Cat Supplements Edition. Listen, there's a lot of noise out there. Every influencer, every brand and every vet with a discount code is telling you your cat needs some magic powder or chew. But how many of them actually do anything? And which ones are quietly brilliant? You're about to find out. We'll go one by one and you will try to guess overrated or underrated. Now before we start, my name is Sam, I'm your cat nutritionist, and it's important for you to understand that I'm 100% independent. Round one is dental powders. Listen, every pet shop here has one. It removes plaque, it freshens breath, it's clinically proven. Usually, it looks like a white powder that smells vaguely like seaweed and a bit of hope. So your guess, is this overrated or underrated? Come on, you know this one. Overrated, and this is why. Most dental powders rely on enzyme blends or kelp extracts that theoretically reduce tartar. But in practice, these enzymes rarely survive storage, and kelp provides minimal abrasive or chemical action. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If your cat's teeth are rotten, it's not a kelp deficiency. Cats fed starch-heavy dry food develop plaque faster because saliva plus starch equals biofilm. That sticky layer feeds oral bacteria. So if you want to fix dental disease in cats, yes, a powder might actually work. But you have to start with what goes in the bowl, not a sprinkle on top. Raw meaty textures, moisture, and a lower carbohydrate content do more than dental health and any powder in a tub. And listen, a lot of commercial cat foods straight contain sugar. And if you give your cat sugar every single day, 2-3 times a day, how do you think your cat's teeth are going to look? They aren't going to look great. Round two is digestive tablets. Little chewable tablets promising balanced gut flora or better poops. They sound very smart. Who doesn't want a happy tummy? Especially if your cat has runny stools all the time. So is this overrated or underrated? You let me know. I would say these are mostly overrated. Here's the nuance. Digestive tablets can help temporarily, especially if they contain viable probiotic strains or digestive enzymes. But most of what's sold for cats sometimes use human strains that don't actually colonize feline intestines, because if you think about it, your cat is an obligate carnivore and they have a very short digestive tract, and so they just pass through. And the chew base, usually it tends to be made out of wheat flour, malt syrup, soy protein, and these are the things that we are trying to limit. If your cat's digestion is off, the fix is rarely add more tablets. It's remove the junk, eliminate inflammatory ingredients, add moisture, and add real meat. When cats move from dry to fresh, stool volume drops by half. That's not magic, it's efficiency. Less filler, less waste, better gut health. So the verdict is overrated unless it's a clinically tested veterinary strain paired with a proper diet. Otherwise, you're literally just paying to sprinkle bacteria on top of a problem the food itself caused. Round three is calming tablets. Over or under? You let me know. Listen, I just think these are overrated. Most calming chews are underdosed. Environmental stressors like lack of enrichment or inconsistent feeding still dominate anxiety triggers. Diet again, carb heavy kibble equals blood sugar spikes equals hyperactivity equals stress. Fix the diet, fix most of the behavior problems. So the verdict here is slightly overrated. Round four is toppers. Freeze-dried sprinkles, gravy pouches, flavor enhancers. Guess what? Is it over or underrated? Listen, in my opinion, these are slightly overrated. Most toppers are just bribes to get a cat to eat kibble. Yes, some might add moisture and palatability, especially if they are freeze-dried. But if the base diet is already species appropriate, they are mostly unnecessary. DIY toppers, shredded meat, sardines, organ mix are very worth it. For example, my cat loves a quail egg or a chicken egg if he's hungry enough, and those are absolutely unbelievable sources of protein and a phenomenal topper. And so I give them to my cat raw because my cat, being an obligate carnivore, can tolerate raw egg, unlike probably me or you. But the commercial ones are mostly marketing. Next round is skin and coat supplements. Shiny coat in a bottle. And guess what? Is this overrated or underrated? Listen, in my opinion, this is underrated. Yes, while diet drives the core, targeted fatty acids like omega-3s and proper amino acids can support skin health, especially during seasonal shedding. So they could be pretty beneficial for your cat. The verdict, in my opinion, is underrated. Next one is euphrasia. This is called eye bright and it's a herbal pick. It sounds a bit like Harry Potter. So you tell me, is this overrated or underrated? Listen, this is one of the most underrated things that you can give your cat. Eye bright is gentle and very traditional. It doesn't cure infection, it only soothes minor irritation, but it's absolutely a phenomenal herbal remedy for cats. It's called eye bright or euphrasia. It's pretty effective even in small doses, but it's not magic. It's just a herbal remedy that really does work for cats. And in my opinion, it's cheap, it's efficient, and it's pretty good. It's one of those less talked about supplements for cats that, in my opinion, are incredibly underrated. Next round, hydration powders and solutions. Cats plus hydration equals disaster if ignored. What do you think? Overrated or underrated? Underrated. These powders encourage sipping, prevent urinary issues, and support kidney health. You can combine them with wet food or rehydrated meals, and it's life-saving, especially for older cats. There is something called chronic dehydration, especially if your cat lives indoors, because if you feed them kibble or primarily kibble, your cat is probably not getting enough moisture through their diet because they get water from prey. If they caught mice or small prey, they would get the majority of the moisture of the water from the prey they catch. But when we are giving them dry pellets for a very long time, their liver and their kidneys do suffer quite a lot. So chronic dehydration is something you should absolutely pay attention to. So anything we can do to encourage the flushing of those kidneys is, in my opinion, a must do. And that's why anything that can encourage hydration for cats is heavily underrated. Next round is joint chews. These are mostly made out of glucosamine and maybe some chondroitin. Overrated or underrated? Glucosamine, chondroitin, omega-3s, they aren't miracle fixes, but they are very, very supportive. If you combine them with weight management, you then have longevity. The verdict here is underrated. If your cat is getting on a little bit, a supplement for their joints is going to do them a lot of good. Next round is tree bark powder or slippery elm. This is powdered bark. What do you think? Overrated or underrated? Listen, underrated. Listen, slippery elm soothes the gut and it works a lot better with proper diet. It's a herbal remedy. You can take it, I can take it, and if your cat has a bit of a dodgy stomach for a couple days, it will work wonders. It won't fix a bad diet, but it might help your cat. Next round is fur as fiber. Yes, rabbit ears, hairy, horrifying. Over or under? In my opinion, this is hugely underrated. Fur equals natural fiber, moves the gut and supports anal glands. Your cat is an obligate carnivore, so powdered fiber cannot compete with evolution design prey analog sources. The verdict here is underrated. Where to buy rabbit ears? You can buy them from your local independent pet shop. You can buy them online. Make sure they have the fur intact and make sure those rabbit ears or any fur from any small prey is intact. You can chop them up and you can use them as sprinkles on your cat's diet. Absolutely wonderful. Fur as feathers is the fiber for obligate carnivores. You have to do this. Now, if you love all this and you are learning a lot, you should really consider downloading our guide, How to Feed Your Cat for Optimum Health. It's an absolute eye-opener and it will change the way you think about your cat and it will help you feed them a species appropriate diet. The link will be down below. Remember that giving your cat a species appropriate diet for an obligate carnivore is the main thing. A lot of kibbles, a lot of very popular biscuits will contain wheat or rice or barley, and they will advertise the barley or the rice in an obligate carnivore's diet. And I cannot tell you how infuriating that is and how popular a lot of these foods are. So my opinion is that you should feed your cat a species appropriate diet, species appropriate nutrition. No rice, no wheat, no barley, no corn, no mystery meals, absolutely no sugar, and your cat will be a lot better off. You don't want any plant proteins, and you do not want to feed your cat something that isn't designed for them. So try to move them away from kibble if you can. Try to add as much moisture as you can to their diet, and if you can, try to move them onto a raw diet. Your aim here should be to mimic, to replicate what your cat would eat if they were left to their own devices. And that is organ, meats, bone, eye, spleen, tails, fur, feathers, anything that your cat would catch in the wild. So you should try to mimic what your cat would eat. Thanks for playing Overrated and Underrated. I put together a video of the best wet foods that you can find here. It's absolutely unmissable.